first of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to my many friends, also to my many enemies. Once again, this is another episode of Roosevelt Sounds Off. And on tonight, or whenever you happen to be watching this particular video, this is going to be a little bit different than a whole lot of videos that, I have done. Because as many of you all know, that I have been doing this and on YouTube for 5 years, and I only have like 20 something little subscribers. But I'm still going to keep on. I know it takes time to build an audience or whatever, but on this evening, after doing some thinking and even a little bit of prayer and reflection, tonight I want to be kind of transparent and tell you about like some of my own mistakes and something that I did that I am now regretting. Well, for the sake of this video, well, first of all, the backstory is I had a good friend of mine who I used to go to church with in my old church. He passed away and lost his battle with cancer earlier this week. So I'm not going to use his name, but for this, the benefit of this video, I'm going to create a fake name. I'm going to say Jason. We're going to call his name Jason. And at the time that, I was told by another friend of mine that Jason had passed away. And he had cancer. And I was told by this, a friend of mine, who's also, a mutual friend between me and Jason. And my mutual friend, he had known that Jason had cancer for the last 10 or more years. But it was Jason's strict request that this friend not tell me. He told me the reason why is because anytime I get upset and everything with people, one of the first things I always want to do is, throw it up in people's face and talk about it on YouTube and this and that. But I told my friend, I was like, come on now. He should have known I wouldn't have played with anything as serious as a medical condition. But I think what he's really referring to, because Jason, now, to go back, a few years ago, some of you all might remember who've watched me for a long time. I did a video, it was a 2-part series called The Right Reason for Relationship. And basically in that particular video, I was talking about, some of the things that I have learned in being in relationships with young ladies and, the right reason for being in a relationship. I was basically exploring the fact that it should not be because of sex, it should not be because of money, it shouldn't be because of looks, it shouldn't be, just because a woman got a big set of titties or a nice behind or some nice hips or whatever, but to love a person for them. And because I was moved to do this series because I had seen a whole lot of agenda-based type of relationships, based upon, people getting in relationships based upon the fact that they possibly been hurt before, so they got to go with somebody of another race because they've been hurt by members of their own, or either something that they want to have sex and, they stay with a person just because of the sex or whatever, but just going through hell. But in that video, I used Jason as an example because this is what Jason told me at the time. At the time he married his wife, he said that he didn't really love his wife, the woman that he married. So he married her all because of what she can do with the ring in her tongue. But yet used to call me up every single day talking about stuff that he is going through and all the stuff that she was doing and all of this other kind of stuff. But this is what you signed up for anytime you get with somebody for the wrong reason. So that's what I was just exploring. So I guess he saw that video, he knew I was talking about him and he didn't like it. And I guess one mistake I always made, anytime like we had a little bit of disagreement or something, the main thing I would always throw up is that, man, I'm not the one who went and married somebody all because she can give good oral sex, or, I would say something to that effect. And I think I reacted on certain things because it was like about almost 12 years ago, I had went on a cruise to the Bahamas, and I had met a young lady named Beverly. And Beverly, she was actually a school teacher working in the New York school system. She stayed in Brooklyn and all of that. You know, we got along very well and everything on the ship, danced together. And I thought Beverly was absolutely, like, lovely. So, you know, we exchanged, you know, addresses and phone numbers. So we stayed in contact and everything for a year. So we even thought about possibly trying to be together, or me trying to move to New York and possibly be with her. And how many of you all out there know that whenever you do something, you know, you want your friends and families and, you know, people who actually, you know, love you to support you? You know, I had a whole lot of support in that. I had a whole lot of support from one of my best friends. She supported me in that. If I wanted to do it, even my mom encouraged me and stuff in that if that's something I wanted to do. But Jason is the main person who didn't encourage me, telling me, no, how can you go and deal with a woman from New York? Man, you need to deal with a woman straight from Chicago. You do this and that. He just went on. He just wouldn't let it go. So I told him, I said, how the hell can you talk about my relationship when, look at you, you wouldn't marry somebody or something all because they can give good oral sex and what she can do with the damn ring in her tongue. I mean, golly, I mean, if that's not seeking to the lowest level, I don't know what is. And I even wrote it in a letter to Beverly, like what I was going through with Jason, and, you know, said certain things, and actually let Jason see the copy of the letter. And he told our mutual friend that after I did all of that, he said that he just didn't trust me anymore. And so he said that he didn't want to after all of that, he said he didn't want to tell me that he was actually dying from cancer, which kind of breaks my heart, because talking about a relationship or marriage or whatever it is could be one particular thing, but I would never ever joke about or make fun of somebody's medical condition or the fact that somebody's dying from cancer. I mean, golly, the fact that he could even say something like that, I mean, means that he didn't completely, like, know me at all. And I hate the fact that he had that idea of me, because even though I felt very strongly about, like, what he was saying and him not supporting me and him doing whatever, you know, now that I have to think back on it, you know, sometimes I'm wondering, did it all really matter? Did it really matter? Because he, you know, we at the old church and everything, you know, we were tight and everything. And sometimes I would give anything to fix the problem in between us. I wish I could have done more to fix the problem. Now, granted, I did, you know, a few years ago, you know, something moved upon me, and we did talk, and I did apologize for all of the, you know, things that were done and that were said. He said that he forgave me, but he said he really couldn't trust me that much. But I guess sometimes after you go so far, and you sometimes can do so many things, you know, I guess a person can forgive, but sometimes it can lead to the downfall of a close friendship or a close relationship, or, you know, something like that. Because I had another friend of mine that I told the whole thing to, and she told me, shoot, boy, I wouldn't have told you nothing either. If you would have done that and stuff to my marriage and attacked my marriage and did all of this and all and said all of that, I wouldn't have told you anything either. But, I mean, I feel bad that we couldn't have done more to fix it. And, trust me, and after all of this, I plan on trying to be very careful in what I do and what I say. Even in what I said in the last video. I know in the last video I probably cursed a couple of times. And that's because I'm upset because Trump is in office. So, you know, y'all are going to have to excuse me. Because, you know, everybody who saw it was kind of disappointed in me. Because they know I'm a God-fearing type of person and a person of the word. Because if many of you all know that I have tried to bring the word to you in many teachings and many videos on many occasions. But it seems like ever since Trump has been in office, even I have to admit I've sunk to the lowest of the low. Because me and many other people are very upset and even scared that, you know, someone like Donald Trump is in office. You know, anytime you could do things to people and, you know, make disparaging remarks against immigrants and sign a bill that keeps Muslims from coming over here and many of you all probably don't even know this, that there was a child who was supposed to get some type of life-saving surgery here in America, but because he signed that executive order, the child from one of those countries that he said that couldn't come over here, couldn't get this surgery, and the child ended up dying. But yet, some people act like I'm not supposed to talk about this stuff. I had one girl who was a friend of mine who stopped talking to me even recently because she told people I was crazy for talking about Trump. Someone like Trump and other people are doing this kind of stuff, but yet you trying to say I can't call it out? I mean, that's all I wanted to do, was to just get on here and just tell what I see. Just tell the truth. Just give it to you from my perspective. Even if I couldn't give it to you from my perspective, I mean, in many occasions, I open up the Bible and even let that talk. So you can actually see what God is even saying about the whole situation. But I feel a whole lot of things got to be called out. And a whole lot of stuff, it has to be said. Especially in this day and time in which we live, when Donald Trump is in office, when we cannot legitimize something that's already illegitimate, when we can't make something right that is completely wrong, we can't spiritualize something and make something godly that's something that came from the devil, which is a whole lot of you stupid Christian right-wing people, are trying to do. Like, there was one gospel singer, Vicky Yowie, put on her Facebook or on some type of social media, now that Trump is in the White House, Jesus has moved back into the White House. What kind of Jesus is that? A Jesus are you trying to say a Jesus that's behind a man who plays around and, molest women and rapes women and says that it's illegal or should make it illegal if a woman got pregnant for her to get an abortion, and a woman should be killed or put in jail for getting an abortion? Somebody who wants to build a wall instead of building bridges? Somebody who speaks out against Muslims, against blacks, who wants to detain people, who wants to cut every single kind of health care and cut every single part of government assistance, but yet I'm not supposed to call this stuff out. That's all. I never really, tell you the truth, you all, I never wanted to ever hurt anyone. Never really meant to talk down on anyone. It was just all about telling the truth as to how I saw it and how I feel. And I don't think I'm the only one. I think that, a whole lot of people probably feel the way I feel. I just like to see things done right and see things done decently in order. And right now, the way this country is going, the way this world is going, certain things are not being done decently and in order. Never meant to hurt anybody, never meant to do anything like that. But in the next coming couple of months or whatever it is, I do plan on trying to be a little bit more careful in how I do things and how I say things, and even in my personal life outside of YouTube, how I talk to and how I treat my friends, because I don't ever want to feel the way that I'm feeling now, that somebody could pass away and I haven't completely got a wrong righted, or or I haven't made any steps to try to right that wrong, or stood out even more to try to do it. And I'm encouraging all of you out there, if there is a family member or a friend who you messed up or they messed up, or whatever it is, fix it and fix the problem before it's too late, because truly, like the old soap opera One Life to Live, we truly only have in this world one life to live. So fix it and fix any kind of a problem now. If you have to, go to God and even repent for your behavior and even pray for that other person. Fix these problems and fix it now, because you don't want it to be said too late. You pass away and that person passed away and things are not fixed and things are not right in between you. So for right now, that's where I'm going to leave the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see everybody on the next video. Peace and blessings to all.